Hi there, this is David Ingleby, and this video is to show you how to put together a new Omni Mount. This is a new mount which is either used as a point motor or a signal motor, and that is how I'm going to show you now how to put it together. This unit comes with the chassis already pre-assembled, so you won't have to worry about that. And so we can make a start first of all with getting the horn ready for the servo motor. The first thing we need to do is take this horn out and then very carefully cut about 1/2 to 1 millimeter off the edge of the boss here, down as far as this bottom piece here. This is a little tricky, but with a good craft knife you can do that quite easily. The reason for that is so that the screw that goes in that hole won't foul on the boss. Then what we need to do is we need to take the M1.6 by 8 millimeter screw, it's that one there, and with the screwdriver we're going to screw that into the first hole. There we go. And with a little bit of luck that will screw right the way through. Screw it all the way in until it gets to the far end of that. There we go. There it is, all the way in. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to get rid of some of this excess plastic here. Sorry, that didn't quite all the way in. There we are. Because this mount is designed with a maximum travel of about 6 millimeter. But it's going to foul if you've got that long piece on there. So what we do is very carefully with a pair of side cutters clip the edges right down right to the next hole and chamfer off the edges like that, and that will give you that little drive unit there, which is what we need. Then we need to take our servo motor and hook it up to the trusty old servo tester. Some power on there, all around, helps if you get the polarity right. There we go. Now these little servo testers are quite useful because that way it moves the thing like that, but if you push this little button here it flicks to the middle light there, and now the servo is centered. Now we need to have the servo in this position, so the boss on the right, and then we need to fit this little goodie that way so it's straight down. If I get that there we go, so it's straight down on that angle like that, and then we can tighten that up with a little screw that came with the servo. And there we have it. That's job done. You can disconnect the servo tester, put that away, and now we have our unit. So we take the bracket that we've got, it's already folded, and this goes in this way, and you need to locate this screw here into the slot in the slider. Get that in the slot in the slider, and then your two screw holes should line up. We have a couple of, let's see, M2 by 6 screws here. Get them into the right hole. Don't tighten it all the way just yet until you get the other screw in. Oops. So that's all the way in, and that's now all the way in, and now you'll, if you can see right inside there, the drive screws through that slot there. If I were to hook it up to the servo tester once again, you would see that it will now move the unit quite easily from side to side. Right, that's the main unit complete. Now it's a question of whether you want to use it as a point motor, which would go that way underneath your layout, or as a signal driver. If you want to use it as a point motor, you take these 3 little screws here and we put them into the 3 holes down here. Just get them caught so you don't have to. I always work on a tray just in case I drop screws. Get them onto a shag pile carpet and you can really have a problem finding them. Don't ask me how I know that. Right, all 3 screws are in there. Now your pin would then go through those 3 screws like that, and once you've got it all in position, you'd lock those up, and that's your point motor sorted out. If on the other hand you wanted to go for a signal mount, then we take these 3 little screws out again. And we put them into a different place. We put them into the top of the mount over here. In there like that, and that would then hold your bar. Then all you need to do is you need to get a hold of this piece. Again, it comes flat, so you can just fold that against a block, something like my trusty old folding block. Just put it down there, push it over, make sure that's 90 degrees, and then that goes on the back of this unit here, and you've got 2 little screws to put in there. So let's just try and see if we can do that with the camera in the way. So that goes on like that, and you can adjust it, slide it up and down as you need it. That can slide up and down, or it could be on the other side depending on how you want to set the whole thing up. Just remember, if you put it this way, make sure that when it's in position that this bar here doesn't bang against the baseboard, because it could then damage your servo motor. Right, now the next trick is the switches. Now the switches in this case are very easy to put together. So you've got a nut plate there, 2 M2x10 screws and a switch. You put the screws through the switch into the nut plate, don't tighten them all the way up. Once you've got them like that, it's very simple to slide them onto, see what I'm doing? Slide them onto the ends there, and when you've got them in position, you can just lock them up. And there it is. That's a signal mount, pin coming up here, so that would be set like that. Switch at the bottom, probably only on the signal mount. You wouldn't want one on the top, just to show when the signal is down. And alternatively, you can make it as a point motor, which is that way around, and switch on either side if you so desire. And that is the new Omni Mount and how to put them together. Thank you for watching.